Our next speaker has become one of the most recognizable names in Medicare. He's a renowned podcast host, published author, social media influencer, and committed mentor to tons of agents from coast to coast. His Facebook group, Figure Medicare Agent, currently supports close to 10,000 agents every single day. And he's the host of the Figure Medicare Agent Summit that I just spoke at literally last month. 8% welcome to the stage from Utah, Christian Brindle. Let's go. 8%, it's about time. It's about time. It's that time. Wow. Welcome, Christian Brindle.
Wow. 8% Nation. Hello. How's everybody feeling about Springfield? I don't know about you guys, but this is my first time ever being in Springfield, and this is a pretty cool place. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Woo! I got a lot of information I want to share with you guys today, and not a lot of time to do it, so I'm going to move a little quickly. However, I wanted to start off with the theme of the day, which is adapt and change. One thing I want you guys to be thinking about today and walk away from this event from is adapting and changing your perspective on what it actually is going to take to make it. Tons of insurance organizations preach the back of, we're going to make you a six-figure earner. When I came into this business a decade ago, that was the goal. That was essentially the dream that was sold to me. But how many can agree six figures doesn't buy what it used to? How many can agree that six figures is kind of barely getting by? Yes or no? So what I'm going to teach you today is how to create a seven-figure sales process. How many are interested in that? If you're not raising your hand, I don't know why you're here. One more time, raise your hand if you're interested in that. Today, you need to be concentrated on a few different elements to create a real process that's going to grow your business to seven figures. First off, why listen to me? I am not naive to the fact that this is a different kind of crowd than what I usually speak to. So I'm probably pretty accurate in saying the majority of you probably don't know who I am. So let's talk about why listen to me. So I got into the business in 2014. I grew my internal insurance agency to a multiple seven-figure agency in revenue. I'm a multiple-time top producer as an agent. Today we run 5 companies doing about $5 million plus in revenue this year in 2024. So we've had a lot of growth. Very thankful. But along the way, there's been a couple of things that I've learned, and I'm going to share that with you today. First off, number one, sales is important, and it always will be. However, today it's less about sales and more about 3 very important elements in your sales process. Number one, having a lead machine. How many can agree it doesn't matter how good of a salesperson you are if you have nobody to talk to? If I'm the greatest salesperson in this room today, and I'm alone in this room, nobody's going to hear me. I have no prospect. So you need a lead machine. You need a lot of leads. You need volume of leads. Second thing is you need a funnel to capture these leads. We're going to talk about funnels today. And then we're going to talk about the holy grail, in my opinion, of sales in the insurance space and probably sales in general in our new economy and in our new world, and that's touchpoints. Many of you probably know, January of this year, my company merged with a lead company. One thing that I started getting hammered with from anybody that knows anything about running a lead company is agents saying, I can't get a hold of the leads. So what's the first thing I start asking them? Well, what's your process like? How many times do you call in these leads? What are you touching these leads with? Are you automating your leads? What does your touch points look like? Usually, the answer I get back is not the answer that they want to give me because they know what I'm going to say before I even say it. But oftentimes the answer is, oh, I've called 6 of them. I have 15. I haven't even finished calling them through once. I haven't automated them once. And there's a lot of people in this room that this is you that I'm talking about right now. Your touch points are pivotal to having a sales process that will grow you to 7 figures in 2024. So let's talk about this. First, creating a lead machine, okay? What does this look like? Well, first off, the more leads you have, it can solve the majority of problems in your business if you have the right number of leads. Now, that number is going to be different for everybody. Some of you are trying to be a top producer on your own pen. Some of you are trying to scale sales organizations. That number is going to be different, but you have to identify what is the number of lead flow I need coming in every single day. There's a lot of ways you can get leads, a tremendous amount of ways, right? You can get leads through seminars, you can do grassroots marketing, you can do other types of events, you can build referral partners, all the same tried and true ways we've heard about in our industry. But I'm here to tell you today, if you want to build a sales machine in 2024, there's no better way to do it than running online ads and marketing online ads. So that way you have a real controllable process that you can accurately predict how many leads you can come on at any point in time. So what is the blueprint for actually creating a successful ad? Actually, this is a question I get from agents constantly, so I wanted to kind of take some time and walk through it with you, okay? Number one, I believe that there are a few different stages of actually running an online ad successfully. This goes for your ad copy. This goes for your messaging in the ad, whether it's a video, whether it's a picture, an image, no matter what it is, you need to address these certain stages through the process of running your ad. So the first thing I need you to do is capture the person's attention. How many times have you seen an online ad that was just flat out boring? You just scroll right past it, right? The ads that actually stop you, what do? They reach out and they touch you, right? But how do they do that? Well, not only are they interesting, not only are they creative, but they address your pain points that you're dealing with at that point in time. So what does this look like? For a lot of you guys, you're not addressing the pain points that your clients are actually feeling on a day-to-day basis. When you're running an ad, you should start your ad off with a hook. So I'm in the Medicare space. How many Medicare agents we got in the room, by the way? Okay. Represent. If I'm running an ad for Medicare clients, and you can take this formula and it can work for anything, life insurance, annuities, P&C, etc. What is the pain points that your clients are going through that you know more intimately better than anybody else? For me as a Medicare agent, if I'm running an ad, let's say to someone that's turning 65, what's the pain point? The pain point is you're overwhelmed. The pain point is you're confused. The pain point is you're getting reached out to and inundated by everybody in the world that you've heard of and everybody you haven't heard of. So you're overwhelmed. You're afraid of making the wrong decision. You're afraid of getting a late enrollment penalty. So I'm going to start my ad off with that hook. I'm hooking them in from the get-go. So how am I going to do that? Are you turning 65 and getting onto Medicare, tired of feeling overwhelmed and confused and worried you're going to make the wrong decision? What am I doing? I'm hooking them in from the get-go. And I'm addressing them with a very real concern that they're feeling now, today. And all of your clients are going through this in one way or another, having some kind of pain point. Address the pain point. The last point on the ads that I wanted to kind of get to is keep it to the point. So many times I see people run ads and they have this big long ad copy, or they run a video that just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Keep it to the point. If I'm running an ad in a video, I want that ad to be 30 to 60 seconds, preferably closer to 30 seconds. Keep it to the point. Why? Because in 2024, We are accustomed to having a short attention span. Yes or no? How many of you are scrolling TikTok on a daily basis? How many of us are used to moving on to the next thing like that? I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, if you watched TV, for example, as a kid, you had to wait through commercials to see your favorite show. Not anymore, right? Now, you don't have commercials. Now you can watch whatever you want. Now you can jump from one thing to another. Instant gratification has ruined our attention spans as human beings. And your clients are no different. So don't beat around the bush. Get to the damn point. And more people will pay attention to your ads. Let's talk about your funnel. One of my mentors told me once in the digital marketing space that where you send traffic to has more to do with your conversion than the ad does oftentimes. You ever thought about that? I had somebody that I mentor that is new to running ads. They're running some ads, had some success. They came to me about 3 or 4 months ago, and they said, my ad isn't performing. I'm not getting conversions. Why? So I took a look at their ad. They had almost 2,000 clicks onto their landing page. 2,000 people saw their ad in the first 30 days and clicked on their landing page to learn more. What does that tell you? The ad worked, right? The ad was effective. The job of the ad is to get people to click, learn more. But what does that tell me? It means the landing page wasn't converting the traffic. The problem was with the landing page, not the ad. So if your ads aren't working, understand that it's important to take a look at actually why they're not converting and pay attention to these metrics. But your funnel has everything to do with your conversion rate. What's the blueprint for a successful funnel? Well, I'll tell you, sometimes simple is better when you're getting started. But what we found is if you want to get higher intent leads and higher intent business, multiple pages are better. Number one, you can gather more information. Number two, you can get higher intent individuals because they're going to go through more to actually schedule a time with you, schedule an appointment, or fill out the landing page in general. But more than anything else, a real call to action is necessary with funnels. This is very, very important. There's so many times I see people's landing pages when they're running online ads, and there really isn't a call to action. It's like a scrapbook of them, pictures and everything else. What's your call to action? It should be hammering that pain point and tying that in and causing people to actually go in and convert, okay? Let's talk about touch points, because I'm running short on time. I got to move a little quick. Touch points are so important in our current world, of technology. How many would agree that less people answer the phone today than they did 10 years ago? How many would agree that people answer the phone less than 5 years ago? That is the reality of the world we're living in right now. So if you want to generate a sales machine and a lead generation machine, you have to be able to get people on the phone. If you take anything away from my presentation today, I hope it's this. Today, sales is less about sales ability and more about contact rate. Yes or no? How many of your leads are you actually making a contact with, having an interaction with, having a conversation with? If you're a better salesperson than me, and we both get 10 leads, and I talk to 9 of them or 8 of them, and you talk to 2 of them, I'm, statistically speaking, probably going to beat you even if I suck at selling. Because I had more opportunities, right? So how do you actually do that? Kind of hammering this point again. The agent who reaches the most people will win, not the agent who knows the most. Yes or no? There's people in this room that probably know more about Medicare than me, but I'm on the stage as the Medicare teacher, as a 7-figure agency builder. I don't need to know every little thing about Medicare, although it helps. but I'm better at getting in front of people, and I'm better at getting people to have conversations with me. That's the person that wins in our current economy. What does our follow-up and touch-point process actually look like? This is something we get asked all the time. We try to touch our leads 25 times before we call it quits. Now, my friend Luca Cree said at our conference about a month ago that Cody spoke at as well. Thank you, by the way, Cody. Delivered great value. But my friend Luca Cree said the right answer to how many touch points you should have on a lead is more. Shout out to Luke, amen. But we touch our leads 25 times. Every single lead. A lot of you guys aren't even calling through your leads once. How do you expect to get anywhere if you're not putting yourself in the best position to succeed? Now, what does the breakdowns of these touch points look like? I'll go through that with you and I'll share it with you. We call our leads a lot. We automate them as well. So many people in our industry think that automation is going to replace your ability to follow up or your need to follow up. That's bullshit. That's not true, right? Automation is going to help you follow up. It's not going to follow up for you, though. You still need to pick up that phone and call. So what does that process look like? So we're trying to call these leads 8 to 10 times in the first 3 or 4 days they come in. On the phone, we're having an agent actually call them. People say, I can't get people on the phone. Call different times of the day. Try 2 different numbers if you got to. And then we're hitting them with automations, text messages, emails, etc. Your touch points are going to make all the difference. In today's economy and today's society, you guys need to get this through your mind that you need to get people on the phone. If you can't get people on the phone, I got a news flash for you. Unfortunately, the reality is your business is going to die. We talk about adapting and changing. So few people are adapting and changing that I see. And I hope you walk away from this conference and this event understanding the need to adapt and change. Because you can't prospect like you did 10 years ago. You can't prospect like you did in the 90s or the early 2000s. It's a different world. Your touch points have to be on point. Our touch points are so effective that we have an 80% contact rate on our leads. That's the game. So have you ever tracked your contact rate on leads? Have you actually kept track and calculated how many of them that you actually spoke with or had a conversation with? If you don't, I encourage you to start doing so. And watch what happens to your conversion rates. Contact rate goes up, closing rate goes up. Hand in hand. Got a couple minutes left here, so I'm just going to kind of wrap up with a couple of things. What are some tools you can use? So I kind of played around a little bit with kind of recommending a couple different systems, a couple different softwares that you can use automations for. There's a lot of great systems out there, a lot of great CRM systems out there, but I wanted to give some love to our friends over at Go High Level. I don't think there's a better system than Go High Level out today when it comes to automation capabilities. How many in here are using a Go High Level system or a white labeled Go High Level system? Tremendous, right? Terrific. There's not a whole lot you can find out there that's going to be on par, if not better, right? You need to be able to have a process with a system that is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you on the follow-up, but it doesn't mean you don't have to follow up. But effective automation can increase your contact rate quite a bit if you're also following up. What is the client thinking when they're getting these automations? What is the client thinking when they see your phone call come in? They actually help each other. You ever thought about that? That person's like, this Christian Brindle guy is relentless. It might seem like I'm texting you every couple of hours. Obviously, the system's doing that. We all know that. But they don't know that. They're seeing me call, they're seeing a voicemail come in, they're seeing my name on the caller ID, and they're thinking, this guy's relentless. And there's two types of people. There's one type that will essentially get turned off, not want to work with you anymore. That person probably was never going to do business with you in the first place. That's another question I always get. Are you afraid of turning people off? No! Because I'd rather get a no than no response. Yes or no? You guys have been awesome. I have one more slide I want to share with you guys. We obviously, as Cody mentioned, have a great free online community for Medicare agents called Figure Medicare Agent. We're closing in on 10,000 members. If you guys would like to join that group and get in, it's not specific to your affiliations. It's not specific to what agency you work with. It's a free, open community where agents can learn, share information, and help each other grow. Thank you guys. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Christian Brindle.